Speaking of freak athletes, Caitlin Clark effect has now hit the WNBA. It has been announced today.
But the best basketball of the weekend, the best player in America, the best shooter in America, Caitlin Clark.
Let's talk about Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise.
And they all stayed the course. She allowed her teammates to lead her in certain moments and calm her down in certain moments while still playing the game and being herself out there on the floor, while also dealing with a ton of BS and noise off the court.
We're not just talking about any rookie here. Clark has been lighting up the court with stats that are jaw-dropping.
Caitlin Clark is box office. She's doing this. And instead of giving her credit, y'all tried to make it about, oh, y'all poo-pooing the old guard. Y'all never talked about the old guard like this.
19.2 points and 8.4 assists per game. That's not just impressive, it's leading the league.
I love the point that you made about Caitlin Clark in terms of the BS that she had to deal with off the court. We got to remember she's been box office. She was the main attraction, and there were so many storylines that's been associated with her. Most recently, the whole thing with her and Cheryl Swoops, even though it really wasn't her. It was Cheryl Swoops and all this. Every time you turned around, there was something that she had to deal with.
But here's the kicker. She's not only excelling in assists, she's also a three-point shooting sensation.
The reason I bring that up, and I love that, because as a rookie, ladies and gentlemen, put this in perspective. Caitlin Clark finished the regular season leading rookies in scoring, field goals made, three-point field goals made, assists, steals, and minutes played, and she led the league in assists and three-pointers made. Think about that for a second, and like Shannon says, ultimately, you first team, you one of those people. So we got and fourth in the league in MVP voting.
Can you believe a rookie is dominating both playmaking and scoring? It's like she's playing chess while everyone else is stuck on checkers.
They tried to minimize her, said, well, you giving her all this credit. What about the women that came before her? What the women came before her, what they did cannot be taken away. That ain't got nothing to do with Caitlin Clark. But there was a lot of people tried to make sure they keep Caitlin Clark in her place, because what you're doing, if you give her all this shine, you minimize what they done. You can't minimize what Maya Moore or Candace Parker or Lisa Leslie or Lauren Jackson or Diana Taurasi or Simone Augustus or any of the other great players. That Caitlin Clark, what she's doing doesn't minimize what they've done.
You might wonder if she's really that extraordinary, and let me tell you, she is.
But we should have been giving her the credit. We saw the ratings, we saw the merchandise sales, we saw the attendance, but y'all want to make it about something else. Oh, what about the women that laid the foundation? What about this? What about it? That ain't got nothing to do with Caitlin Clark.
Clark made history as the first rookie in WNBA history to achieve 2 triple-doubles.
Caitlin Clark, unanimous Rookie of the Year. But what's even more impressive, she's first team WNBA. First.
That's right, too. She's not just breaking records, she's redefining what it means to be a rookie. In a recent WNBA playoff game, Caitlin Clark experienced an eye poke from Dejonai Carrington, which sparked a lot of discussion. This reminds me of an event that changed my life. In 2016, I was driving to a reunion with friends when a distracted driver ran a red light and crashed into me. My car was total, and I ended up needing multiple knee surgeries. Insurance companies often try to pay you less than what you deserve after an accident, which is why I'm excited to introduce our sponsor, Morgan & Morgan. They're the largest personal injury law firm in the country and can fight for the best possible result for your case if you become their client. Whether it's a minor accident or something more serious, they make sure the insurance company doesn't shortchange you. The best part? You don't pay them up front. If they don't win, you don't pay. If you ever find yourself in an accident, remember your options. You can start your claim now by clicking the link in description below. Thanks to Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring this video.
That the Fever are having on the economy in Indianapolis, in the WNBA, in the world of sports. And frankly, it's amazing. Now, you all know the backstory. Angel Reese in college did all this and all this, mocking, of course, our girl, Caitlin Clark.
Of course, success has its costs, and Clark is feeling it with some bruises along the way.
I think she's spectacular. I think she's going to be the biggest box office attraction in women's basketball in short order. You know, I know it sounds like I could be a bit biased. I had the pleasure, as I've told you on several occasions, of doing an interview with her And when I was there with her on stage to do something with her, 10,000 people showed up.
Get this, 177% of the league's flagrant fouls have been committed against her.
This woman is special. She is a marksman. She is the Steph Curry of women's basketball. And I understand the Cheryl Swoops of the world or anybody else. There's a lot of players that have been excellent in women's basketball throughout the best. UNESCO is obviously spectacular. We see various others as well. I remember the days of Cheryl Swoops and Cynthia Cooper and how big Lisa Leslie and how big time they all were. And I'm not taking anything away, but when you consider the evolution of the game of women's basketball.
That's not a coincidence, folks. It's a sign that the veterans are feeling the heat.
Really intrigued because there's a league with players that feel like they should be getting the attention. Now they have center stage, but the ratings are going to go down. How far, though? That's the key.
It's not just about playing against Clark. They're up against a real powerhouse.
It's going to be, before the argument was the league is much more than this one girl that came into the league,
right.
And we've established it. And hey, look at the numbers everywhere else across women's basketball. It's not just Caitlin Clark; it's all of us. And then the moment the ratings tank, they're going to come back and say, "See, we were right all along. It's all the racists that follow Caitlin Clark that were watching the product, and now they're gone, and we're back with our diehards." And that's the ratings that you're seeing. Actual W fans. Not WNBA, actual W fans.
Let me get it right.
That's going to be the argument.
And she truly is one. Clark isn't just transforming her team's chances. She's reshaping the whole scene of women's basketball.
But is that going to be a headline when they dip when she's not playing? And now they have to go through the postseason. They're going head-to-head with the NFL. We pointed that out yesterday, which isn't smart.
Clark's team has made it to the playoffs for the first time since 2016. This isn't just a bounce back, it's a total turnaround.
Numbers are going to be up year to year because Caitlin Clark wasn't in the WNBA last year. So ESPN is going to spin this as a positive that their playoffs will be much higher rated than they were a year ago, even the playoffs without Caitlin Clark.
Yes.
But because they were so low, that really isn't telling you the whole story.
All this excitement has led to something big. Clark was named the Associated Press Unanimous Rookie of the Year. That's right. Every single voter recognized her impact and said she's the one.
28 years, the numbers were stellar. Caitlin Clark drew a whole new fan base into it. And now the question is, because she has been eliminated, she and the Indiana Fever are eliminated after losing 2 games to the Connecticut Sun. What is the rest of the season going to look like, ratings-wise, for the WNBA? Are people still going to care? That is the question on everybody's mind. Because when you look at the numbers with Caitlin Clark there, her first playoff game, drawing 1.84 million viewers. Ridiculous numbers. The highest rated playoff game since Game 2 of the 2000 WNBA Finals. This wasn't even just an opening round game back in 2000. This was one of the finals games. So this clearly is showing how much of an impact Caitlin Clark is having.
This isn't just an award. It feels like a crowning moment. While Clark is making headlines, some veteran players aren't quite ready to pass the torch just yet.
Obviously, it's always important to give credit where it's due. And I think we all realize where the credit needs to be given as far as the success of this WNBA season. Caitlin Clark came in and made such an impact on how many people started to care about the WNBA. This was the highest viewed season in the history of the league.
Why would a veteran like Bonner go after a rookie? The answer might surprise you, and it's shaking up the WNBA in unexpected ways. This matchup between Clark and Bonner isn't just about 2 players. It represents the evolution of women's basketball. On one side, you have DeWanna Bonner, a seasoned player who has dominated for years. On the other, there's Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation who is making headlines and breaking records left and right. You might wonder why Bonner, with all her experience, would feel threatened by a rookie. That's where it gets intriguing. Clark isn't just your typical rookie. She's a powerhouse who is shaking up the very core of how the game is played in the WNBA. Imagine this. Clark is on the court showcasing a style that's more finesse than the physical, aggressive play the league is accustomed to. It's almost as if she's wearing a target on her back. She's not just putting points on the board, she's reshaping the game itself. For veterans like Bonner, who have built their careers on a traditional style of play, this feels like an earthquake shaking everything they know. But Clark proves she's more than just talent. In the heat of the moment, with emotions running high, she said,